So coming from CNBC, Morgan Stanley will soon open its trillion-dollar wealth management funnel to AI agents. Now to be clear, this sounds scarier than it actually is. Basically, what they're really doing here is they are opening their data layer, essentially for reporting mechanisms to AI agents. But I do think this is kind of a curious thing to follow as we start to see artificial intelligence actually implemented in a reasonable way in the corporate world. One of the big problems we've had with artificial intelligence over the past 3-4 years is that a lot of the ideas people have for using AI are frankly kind of crappy, right? Even if they make sense intellectually, even if they make sense when you scribble it out on the back of a napkin, when you try to implement it, it turns into a complete and utter disaster. So one of the things I think is going to be curious to see is in 2026 and in 2027 and going forward, as artificial intelligence actually starts getting implemented to solve problems that actually matter, right? There's all of these like moonshot things with artificial intelligence, like AI is going to solve science and AI is going to cure disease. And that sounds cool to the normies, but it's not. It doesn't actually make sense. It's not something that you can actually get your head around for what this artificial intelligence is going to be doing in the corporate environment. What is the actual value that is going to be provided? What are the solutions that are going to be created using artificial intelligence? So what we're starting to see now is we're starting to see these solutions, and what you'll notice is that these solutions are much smaller than the concept of solving science or whatever else. But I do think it'll be interesting to follow going forward to see how this stuff is all implemented. So basically with Morgan Stanley, what is going on now is that for the wealth management funds, basically the idea is, you know, you have HR departments that are responsible for 401k plans and that type of deal. And so what Morgan Stanley is doing is they're creating an MCP server, Model Context Protocol server. This is a way for AI agents to be able to communicate with their systems with the idea of that people will be able to create AI agents to query Morgan Stanley's systems to get particular information, right? So if I want to understand how my 401k plan is doing, I can simply put my query in. It will go through the MCP server. It will grab the specific information, and then it will turn that into basically a human readable response, right? And I do think this is kind of an interesting thing to be thinking about with how will AI really be used. And to be clear, it'll probably be boring. Let's be honest here. Just for all the young kids out there, the kids who really want to be passionate about technology, here's the deal. Do you know when you know a technology is actually valuable? When it's boring as hell. When it is so boring. Technology should not be exciting. If technology is exciting, you're doing it wrong. Most of the time, it should be dirt boring. There should be a specific problem with how your brain works that you find any of this stuff interesting, right? You should be able to sit at a dinner party and start to being able to expound on all this amazing stuff you're doing at work. And everybody else at the table at the dinner party should be picking up their forks right about to stab you in the eye if you don't shut the fuck up. Because you're so boring, right? And so I think that's the interest, right? There's this whole like AI is exciting. And that's how you know AI, for the most part, is a bunch of crap. Because once it's real, it gets to be pretty boring. But anyways, if we take a look at this, Morgan Stanley will soon open a key wealth management funnel to artificial intelligence agents from thousands of corporations. CNBC has learned it's one of the earliest instances of a major Wall Street bank opening its platform to external AI tools. The move will allow clients' autonomous agents to pull data and insights directly from the firm's stock administration platforms, ShareWorks and Equity Edge, bypassing the traditional software interfaces built for human users, according to the chief product officer of Morgan Stanley work. And so this is going to be one of the things to be thinking about once you start deploying artificial intelligence into your infrastructure, is basically trying to lock it down with security. What does this thing need to do, right? AI can give you some curious results. AI can decide to wipe out your entire production database if you give it the permissions to wipe out the production database. So one of the things to be thinking about when we start deploying artificial intelligence is what problems can we solve with the least vector of complete and utter disaster, right? So if we give our employees, or if we give our users tools for vibe coding that can do things like connect to the production database server, right? You can run into a lot of problems, right? You might wipe out the database. You might insert 1,000 records for some weird ass reason, right? There are a lot of destructive actions. So when we talk about destructive actions, we mean actually damaging something, basically damaging the data, right? There's a lot of that can be done, again, like the vibe coding world, that type of deal. So as we start deploying artificial intelligence, one of the things to be thinking about is what problems can we solve with the least risk? And so one of the things to consider is simply reporting mechanisms, right? Let's create reporting mechanisms with a natural language interface so that our users can pull out the specific information that they're interested in, right? So let's say I have a 401k plan or something like that, and I see, the Trump administration or whatever administration is going to be changing specific stocks that might be eligible for tax deferment or whatever else. So imagine if I can just go into a little portal for Morgan Stanley and I can say, with the upcoming change to the tax code, which of my stocks will be affected? And it can just pop up, these are the 10 stocks that are affected, and this is how much you have in these stocks, this would be your tax liability if you sell them now, right? And if you do that, you might leak additional information. Again, there can always be problems, right? You might leak additional information that shouldn't be provided. You might give information to the wrong person. You might give some bad information back, but the risk is relatively limited. And so this way you can start deploying artificial intelligence, right? So the king normie, right? The CEO, the executives who really want AI in the infrastructure, right? You can placate them because you're deploying AI, but you can do it in such a way that hopefully you don't blow everything up. Hopefully you don't delete the production database. And if the production database got deleted, it wasn't the AI, at least it was the intern. And in 2026, knowing that it was the intern that killed your production database somehow is better than thinking it was the AI. Oh, let's see here. Quote, the way we see it, in a future state, our corporate clients will not be logging into ShareWorks or Equity Edge, he said. Instead, they'll be, quote, using agentic AI-powered tools on their desktops within the four walls of their companies, interacting with our platforms in a purely agentic way. The company has already granted a handful of clients early agentic access and plans to open it up to the firm's 3,400 administration clients by next year. The bank's AI pitch to corporate clients is straightforward. Fast-growing technology and biotech companies want to administer increasingly complex stock plans without adding headcount in support roles like human resources. At these companies, AI agents can handle aspects of the job without adding human employees, he said. Internally, there's a similar logic. Morgan Stanley sees agentic AI allowing it to scale its own services, customer support, plan administration, the wealth management funnel without adding thousands and thousands of employees. And so this is the thing that I've been warning about for a while. So we've been seeing a lot of layoffs, right? Apparently this year, we've had 150,000 layoffs by June, right? We've already seen that number of layoffs. That has been blamed on artificial intelligence. We've been told that's because of AI. It's not because of AI. These companies are just right sizing. These companies simply needed to right size. They needed to right size 3 years ago. They're finally getting around to it. One of the things I do want you to be thinking about, though, is we are getting close to the auto-attendant moment. So when I talk about the auto-attendant, so auto-attendant is when you dial a phone number, you call in, and it says, dial 1 for service, dial 2 for sales, whatever else. So I used to sell those. Lordy. Over 20 years ago, I used to install and sell those. And when I talk about the auto-attendant moment, is when you deploy an auto-attendant, there is no question about what it does for the company, right? Basically, your receptionist or a pool of receptionists that the company used to have are immediately fired. There is no question about it, right? As soon as you install the system, you literally no longer need receptionists. It's not a gray area, right? You need, when somebody calls in, that call needs to be answered, that call needs to be routed. It can either be a human being or it can be an auto attendant. And one of the things I've been talking about with this whole AI world is that we really haven't seen the auto attendant moment. Like we are informed that AI is going to take people's jobs, but they don't really explain why or how or what this shit's doing, right? So what I think is going to be interesting as we start moving forward from here is we're going to start seeing more products, right? I talk about this a lot, right? There's the technology, there's the product, and then there's the business. So when we talk about AI, the concept of AI, that's really just a technology, right? It's like TCP/IP version 4. Like if somebody just gave you a bucket full of IPv4, what would you do with it? Like, what? That doesn't make sense. Exactly, right? That's kind of the same thing with AI. Like AI, like models and databases and Mamba. What is it? The thing is, you start putting it into products, and those products start solving problems. And the problem most of these corporations have are too damn many employees, right? And so that's what's kind of curious with this, is think about this with the company. Think about when you're at a company, how many people you have to interact with just to get basic answers, or how many people do you have to interact with just to do very basic tasks. And so the idea here is for these companies with very complex, stock schemes and all that kind of stuff, instead of dealing with or hiring human resources people to be the intermediaries between the system and the employees, you can now simply have these AI agents do that work. And I actually think more or less that makes a hell of a lot of sense, as long as they do it properly. And so this is going to be the next phase of the quote unquote AI revolution, where we're going to start hitting more and more of these auto attendant moments where it's not really the AI, it's the product that is being deployed immediately removes the need for specific employees. Let's see here. In a pre-AI world, companies would have frowned upon allowing clients to bypass the online front door to their services. For decades, companies fought to hook users on proprietary platforms. Morgan Stanley, which began partnering with OpenAI in 2022, believes that matters less in a world where AI agents become the primary interface. Software is a, quote, inflection point, clearly. The companies that are going to survive in the future are the ones who have proprietary data and business logic, which is the foundation of our offering. The fact that they won't be logging into the websites, he said, doesn't scare us at all, because they're not really solving or selling the website. So the idea here is Charles Schwab or Morgan Stanley, whatever, before they would want you to log into their website, right? And that was considered a value proposition. Well, now they're looking at it. It's like, look, they don't sell websites. Morgan Stanley doesn't sell website, right? Charles Schwab doesn't sell website. What do they sell? They sell these services, these financial product services. So if they can create a system where these AI agents can interact with that data in a better and easier fashion, that's what they want to focus on. So that's one of the things that I think is curious about this. So basically what I think is curious about this with Morgan Stanley is, one, creating AI type systems that hyper focus on solving specific problems with a low level of risk, right? Not no risk, there's always risk, but a low level of risk. The other thing to be looking at here is that they're specifically going after job taskings, right? Not pie in the sky horse crap. Why are certain employees getting paid to do tasks? What is the value of those tasks the employees are doing? And can we hand that over to AI to provide a better solution to the employees, right? So instead of having to wait 3 weeks or however long for HR to get back to you, you can automatically communicate with the AI system. It makes everybody happy, except for the pool of HR employees that get laid off. But, that's how it goes. And I think we're going to start to see more and more of this. And this is where I talk about, too, with we see these layoffs. Like with Block, right? Block lays off like 4,500 employees. Meta lays off 8,000 employees, and they blame it on AI. But this is what I want you to be thinking about. Is we're not hearing about the specific tasks that AI systems have taken over that make the employees irrelevant. right? The auto-attendant system immediately makes the receptionist irrelevant. And so that's what you should be focused on going in the future, is which of these products immediately, the moment this thing gets turned on, it literally eliminates entire jobs, right? So anyways, what do you think about this? What do you think about Morgan Stanley allowing AI agents to see some of their data? What do you think about it being sold? Being sold specifically to eliminate thousands and thousands of HR jobs. Do you think it is a little bit funny that it's the HR jobs that are gonna go away? That's kind of humorous, I think. Anyways, put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, you want them on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts, there's a link in the doobly-doo. If you'd like to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.